Hello guys, we'll be making an easy kimchi today. It's called Mak Kimchi. Mak in Korean translates to carelessly or roughly. So carelessly made kimchi? No. That's only in relation to pogi kimchi, the classic kimchi type that we make for kimjang, which is late fall kimchi making process while the cabbages are at their peak. I have a video on that, hope you watch it. This is the kimchi we Korean home cooks turn to when we want something simple and quick, especially during off-season. I'm going to address some of your frequently asked questions on kimchi making as we go along. Let's get started. I have 1 head of baechu, napa cabbage. This weighs about 5.5 pounds. So this recipe was good for 5 to 6 pounds. What if yours is only 4 pounds? Then just reduce the ingredients proportionately. We're gonna cut this up into small pieces, but before that, I'm going to prepare my salt water. I have 4 cups of warm water here, and this is Korean sea salt. 1 cup is about 160 grams. In general, I use 1 cup for like 5-6 pound cabbage. So just stir to dissolve. First, we're gonna cut this in half. So the other kimchi, pogi kimchi, we keep this head together, head part together. That's why it's called pogi kimchi. But this one, we're gonna cut it all up. So first, we're gonna cut off the stem part. And these small ones are okay. We're gonna cut this up into 1.5 inch pieces. Here's the reason I wanted to make salt water first. So I can sprinkle a little bit, and we'll repeat the same thing. All right. Okay, how quick was that? Now we're just gonna use up all the salt water. Now it's easier to distribute the salt water this way because we pour the salt water as we went along. This is gonna take about 2 hours. So every 30 minutes or so, just flip them over. Okay, this is the cabbage I salted earlier. It has been over 2 hours. And let's see how it's doing. It's really nice and soft. White part is flexible. I did flip them over every 30 minutes. Now we're ready to rinse this 3 times. And this is the 3rd one, the final one. Make sure to drain the cabbage really well. And while that's draining, we're gonna make kimchi seasoning. Okay, the first thing is gochugaru. I use about 1/2 cup per cabbage, that size cabbage. But you can certainly use more if you want your kimchi really red and spicy, or use less if you like it less spicy. So the next is fish sauce, 3 tablespoons. And this is saeujeot, salted and fermented shrimp, 2 tablespoons. And then 3 tablespoons of garlic. This is about 1 teaspoon ginger, minced ginger. And this is pretty much it. But what about Korean pear? Korean pear adds really nice, mild, refreshing sweetness to kimchi, as well as feeding the healthy bacteria, promoting the fermentation. But they're not always available. Your Basque pear is a good substitute. Koreans sometimes use apple as a substitute. And Koreans also use maesilcheong, plum syrup, for that fruity sweetness. Another question I often get is, do you absolutely need sweet rice paste? The answer is no. It's a classic for kimjang kimchi, pogi kimchi that I talked about earlier. The sweet rice paste thickens the seasoning mix and it adds sweetness to kimchi and feeds the healthy bacteria. But for quick kimchi like this, or summer kimchi, Koreans make kimchi without any paste, or go for something lighter and simpler. So if you really want to add some grain to kimchi, use leftover cooked rice. This is what Koreans commonly do for quick kimchi like this. So these are totally optional, but in case you want to use, I'm going to show you how to use it. Okay, so here's an apple. We're just going to need like a half. This is 3 tablespoons of rice, and I'm going to add like a 1/4 cup water. And then blend it all together. So we got our apple paste. We're going to need a little bit more water, so I'll wash this off. Okay, mix all this up. Now we have scallions here. Korean chives, baechu, is also good in this kimchi. I'll just cut it into about 1-inch pieces, a little over. Okay, now we're ready to mix everything up. Let's do it. The cabbage has been draining for about 20 minutes, and look at the water. So it's important you drain water really well. Now we're just gonna get in there, mix it all up. And it's not too late to add more gochugaru if you want it rather or spicier. Of course, after tasting it. When you taste kimchi, try the leafy side, because these things takes time for seasoning to penetrate. So try like a small piece on the leafy side. It should be slightly salty now, because kimchi gets less salty as it ferments. Okay, this is mixed well. Okay, let's say your kimchi needs a little bit more saltiness. You can use any of these salty ingredients, like salty shrimp, fish sauce, or even salt. Okay, now I'm going to add scallions. And lightly toss this time. All right, kimchi is done. This is what we call kimchi tong, kimchi container. They come in all different sizes. They are available online. This is not sponsored, but this is what I like. So I'm just showing you what I use. It has an inner vacuum lid. It keeps the air out of kimchi. and press it down to get the air out. Now let's just use a little bit of water here so I don't waste my seasoning. Okay, and then just pour it in the little corner back there. Okay. Kimchi expands as it ferments, so whatever you use, make sure you have enough room at the top, or your kimchi liquid may overflow as it ferments. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this out about a day just to give it a kickstart. But kimchi fermentation should be done slowly at low temperature. So I'll put this in the fridge tomorrow, day after. But it all depends on your room temperature. If your room temperature is very warm, then a half day may be enough. And you're in a very cold place, then maybe you can get away with 2 days out at room temperature. So check it as you go along. It's okay to check. This is the kimchi I made yesterday. So I'm gonna show you how it is after a day. But you can eat kimchi anytime after making it. It will just get better as it ferments. It's really delicious already. So freshly made kimchi tastes really good too. Okay guys, hope you're all inspired to go get a head of napa cabbage and try this easy kimchi recipe. I'd love to hear your kimchi making experience, so leave me a comment below or tag me on Instagram. See you next time.